Fine, I guess you guys won. But the hope is not over. If you didn't know, I made a video a few months ago, basically explaining some of the reasons why Doomslayer was going to be in Challenge Pack 8. It seemed to line up, but Mr. Sakurai came with a curveball and introduced Sephiroth, and he's a good pick. I'm glad all the Final Fantasy fans were happy, and in general the Smash community took him pretty positively. And even if I wish Doomslayer had gotten in instead, I was fine with Sephiroth. There were still 3 spaces to go, and then a week ago we had the Nintendo Direct, and Pyra and Mythra were revealed. At first I was kind of discouraged. I didn't mind Xenoblade Chronicles, and I wasn't one of those raving anime sword fighter loons, but their moveset didn't look very unique, and despite the switching mechanic, they looked like pretty boring sword users. But then I began thinking, and over the course of the week I've come to actually be really excited for them. I really like their designs, especially the swords. As somewhat of a sword connoisseur myself, I'd expect a franchise called Xenoblade to have good sword designs, and they delivered. They've got really interesting shaping and colouring to them. And I know there's been a lot of controversy about Pyra and Mythra's assets, but in the end, it was really just drama. So now we're left to wonder who'll be next. Well, personally, I still have high hopes for Doomslayer. The previous 2 were both sword users and from Japan, so a ranged third-party rep from the West sounds cool. So why don't we go over my old video and just have a bit of a review to it. Jesus Christ, I'm glad I ditched that old intro.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video.
You gotta love that mono-channel audio. Yeah, people called me out on it, but I was just kind of starting out, so I'm glad I fixed it now and have a proper mic.
With Steve now in Smash, the game has changed substantially. Steve is a really fun character, if not a tad broken.
Back when Steve was still hyped about.
Now let's start off with the obvious. People want him. He's a really popular character in the West. He's appeared in plenty of most wanted lists, and with the release of Doom Eternal earlier this year, I'm sure his fan base has grown even larger.
Yeah, that point is still prevalent. His fan base has only really grown, and now that Doom Eternal is finally on the Switch, and has been successful on there, it seems more likely. Now I know the characters have been decided ages ago, but Eternal being brought to the system was most likely news from a year ago, so it still stands.
But it's not with them recently being bought by Microsoft, it seems even more likely.
Ah yes, the Microsoft thing. There's not been much new stuff about that, but it's probably not really relevant anymore.
I see no problem with 2 Microsoft characters being in Smash Pass 2. Just put a gap between them and you're good to go.
That aged poorly.
It's undeniable that Doom and Nintendo are friendly. Imagine Doomslayer's trailer opening up with Isabella running through a hell-themed stage, and then the big boy himself appears, with the classic Doom theme blaring behind him.
Look, I hate Isabella as much as the next guy, but I really hope that Doomslayer and her have some funny interactions. It'd make my day.
After all, you can show brutality without having loads of blood and gore. It's a common misconception that Doom can't be featured because of its mature gameplay, but that's rather silly. Plenty of mature characters like Snake and Bayonetta have come. Sakurai and his team can easily adjust the maturity while keeping the brutal and badass action.
Still is pretty silly. Mario got impaled, so Mr. Sakurai and his team aren't worried to go dark, even if it was a gag in the end.
Now don't get me wrong, ARMS and Minecraft are fun for all ages, but a darker and more mature character would flesh out the past a bit.
Agreed. Well, that was that. I'm still supporting Doomslayer's inclusion, and I hope his other fans haven't lost hope. As for the next 2 characters, well, I think he would go nicely into the 5th slot, and as for the 6th, it'd probably have to be a banger. I don't know who it'd be right now, but whoever it is, they'll probably be pretty cool. Anyway, thanks for watching this dumb video. Subscribe and leave in the comments who you'd like to be as the next character. Okay, bye.